Hello, this is Jackie Pride, and my microphone broke, so I hope that you can hear me. I know that I speak really low. Um, I want to continue with the court card series that I'm doing, and we've moved on to the Knights now. I'm using the Tarot of the New Vision deck, and the Knights to me symbolize the challenge of freedom. When they come up in a reading, to me it suggests that there's almost like a dual, two feelings going on at once. There's almost like a conflict. It's like you want to put your time and attention into something, but you also want the freedom to not have to do that. Okay, so like I'll start this clip with the Knights of Swords. It shows a knight, and there's a house in the back. It's burning, and the soldiers are, running away. This knight is on a horse and maybe can get to help faster. So there is a sense of urgency in here. There's a sense of, okay, I know what needs to be done, and I'm going to do it now. Horses, to me, represent power, and they represent freedom. So the knight rides the horse. So that means the knight, you or the person you're asking about, has some sort of, like you do have power to affect the situation. In this case, the person has the power to go and get help faster than anyone else, which may allow for the house to be saved in the end or something like that. Horses, though, represent freedom to me. So to me, this means like maybe this person is like maybe they're just always kind of in a situation, a rescue archetype situation, where the people around them are always just falling apart. Or maybe there's just always some kind of problem that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be handled, and it needs to be dealt with. The Knight of Swords is someone that probably has just grown up with this sort of dynamic, and so as an adult, it's just become second nature to kind of look for what's wrong and then fix it. The Knight of Swords is is able to see what is wrong very clearly. So if the Knight of Swords represents you, you'd want to be mindful of letting other people know what you think is wrong, because what I've learned in the past is that seeing things clearly, it's like walking a fine line between seeing what's wrong and acceptance. Sometimes things are, quote, wrong, and there's not anything you really can do about it, even though you're putting all your energy into making it better. And so I think that the Knight of Swords, which swords represents depression as well, I think there might be a sense of depression, like always being in situations where you're putting your energy into something that just is beyond your control to fix or change or help. I mean, obviously the knight is helping, but the knight doesn't feel like he's helping as much as he should be able to. And so there's that sense of beating the self up because you feel like you should be able to do more. But, you know, we are only human after all, so you just do the best you can with what you've got and just hope that that's good enough for you. The horse represents freedom. So this tells me that the Knight of Swords, while well adept at looking at something and seeing what's wrong and then figuring out a way to fix it, there's a part of the Knight that's maybe kind of drained by this, maybe tired of perpetually being in situations like a rescuer. And so the challenge of freedom here is the Knight would really like just for everyone else, no problems to happen, and everyone else take care of themselves, and just basically just peace and quiet, if you will. So if the Knight of Swords represents you in the reading, I would say that this is just kind of like a suggestion from your celestial guides that you're feeling a little bit drained, step back and detach whatever it is you're focused on fixing, or that's got your attention, and you're looking at it and you're like, there's more I could do, or there's something, step back and ask yourself, am I being called into the situation, or am I asserting myself in it just because I'm used to doing that? Because like I'm a giver, but I've learned over the years, giving people gifts just because I want to give them gifts, I'm not always called to give them gifts. So now when I do gift giving, I wait for that feeling of being called to buy something for someone and then giving it to them. And it's made me more mindful of how I use gift giving for trying to maybe patch up like a rift in a relationship, or maybe I'm using the gift giving to make something better that just won't ever be better, kind of a thing. It's made me more mindful of, so that I'm not manipulating people. I can see more clearly what my motivations are for someone, where in the past I used to be like, well, I'm just trying to make you happy. Well, that's, contemplating that and taking that deeper, I can see now where my gift giving has different nuances to it. So I've reached the point now where I wait to be called to give someone something. And then usually it's in those instances that it produces the most healing. So I would say to the Knight of Swords, wait and see just ask yourself if you're being called to do anything first. And if you genuinely are, then give what you've got to give to the situation to make it better. But if you're not being called to do anything or whatever, then just, send light and let it go. And that way you won't always be feeling like everywhere you turn, there's something that's broken that needs to be fixed. So, and obviously the Knight of Swords, as much as he wants peace and quiet, something about him, maybe it's the rescuer archetype, something about him does find himself in chaotic situations because he can bring clarity to that. Where everyone else is running amok, he gets real focused and clear and knows what to do to get results. So that may be why chaos kind of happens around you. But again, sit back and say, am I being called to help? Just because this is happening, am I being called to help? So that's my take on the Knight of Swords. Just making peace with the fact that something about you, or what this card represents, is about getting really focused and then just getting clear on what needs to be done and then going ahead and doing it. Not recklessly going in because you're just used to being in these situations and so you're going to just do the same old thing over and over. It's like, get mindful of the situation, of the problem, and because each problem is unique, even though it seems like it's the same on the surface. So the solution to each problem is going to be a little bit, it's going to be unique to the previous things you've been through. That's why every moment is unique, even though it feels like the same thing over and over. If you put your attention into it, you'll start to see that you haven't experienced the same problem, because these are new people and they're bringing new things to the table. Even though it seems like it's the same issue, it's still a little bit different. You're still learning. You're still growing in wisdom. So that's my take on the Knight of Swords. And there you go. I hope that helped. So take care. Bye-bye.